In October 1991, Prince gave to the world Diamonds and Pearls, his 13th studio album, and the first with his newly christened band, the New Power Generation, and so began a very exciting era for me. Having only discovered Prince in 1989 with the Batman album, I had missed out on being part of the Prince in the Revolution era. So here in 1991 was Prince with a new band and one aimed at my generation. The term New Power Generation had been around since the days of Lovesexy in 1988, but it wasn't until 1991 that Prince decided to name his band the New Power Generation, and this was for me extremely exciting, as now Prince had a band for me.
Prince. Prince.
But now the new power generation is in effect.
Welcome to the new power generation.
MPG.
You put all these geniuses together and this is what you get.
I fell in love with the whole MPG look. Prince's typhoon hair, a gun microphone, yellow cloud guitar and BMW car, all the little gimmicks and props just helped sell the band to me and seemed to make Prince even cooler than ever, if that's possible. The band themselves were amazing. The astounding voice of Rosie Gaines, the unmatched skill and raw power on the drums of Michael B, Tommy Barbarella's amazing keyboard playing, backed up with the incredible bass of Sonny T, who Prince called his childhood idol on the bass. Levi Cecil Jr., who had been in Prince's band as bass player during the Sign of the Times and Lovesexy tours, was now on rhythm guitar and lead guitar. Prince also had been embracing hip-hop and rap, and brought in Tony M on raps and Damon Dixon and Kirk Johnson as dancers, dubbed the Game Boys on Prince's 1990 Nude Tour. During the Diamond and Pearls period, Prince pushed the boat out on promotion more than he had ever done before, making expensive videos for most of the songs on the album, including having Hollywood director Spike Lee direct Money Don't Matter Tonight. It paid off, as Prince had several hit singles from the album, including a US #1 with Cream. The album also charted well, reaching number 3 in the US Billboard chart and number 2 in the UK album chart, and sold over 6 million copies worldwide. During the late 1980s and early 90s, tours, videos, album covers all became more elaborate and lavish than ever. In 1991, Michael Jackson released his Dangerous album. The cover had an incredible iconic painting created by artist Mark Ryden, depicting much of Michael's life. Michael made a host of short films for the album, including Black or White, directed by Hollywood director John Landis. He went on the Dangerous World Tour, an incredible extravagant event which included illusions by David Copperfield and Michael flying off stage via a jetpack. Naturally. Later on, the short films were put together for home video, the Dangerous Short Films collection, including live tour clips, behind-the-scenes footage. When Prince released Diamonds and Pearls, it came with a holographic cover of Prince and Diamond and Pearl, which moved if you tilted the CD case. As I said, Prince shot lavish videos for the songs, some with loose stories like Cream, and as I mentioned before, having Spike Lee direct Money Don't Matter Tonight. Prince went on a world tour at the same time as Michael Jackson, with the tour being one of Prince's most extravagant shows, including a huge love symbol lighting rig which moved around above the action, set against a black backdrop with twinkling lights that looked like stars, a capsule that Prince emerges from the start of the show, and a floating bed that went from one side of the stage to the other. Again, like MJ, Prince released the videos on home video, including live tour clips, behind-the-scenes footage, including interviews. So this was clearly an era where there was a lot of rivalry and one-upmanship between artists, especially Prince and Michael Jackson. The Diamonds and Pearls album is a brilliant mix of styles, as you would expect from a Prince record, but with the new flavour of the MPG band lifting it above the norm. The first time I heard the opening track Thunder, I was stunned. I'd never heard anything sound like this before. The sound of the guitar screeching, the stacked up vocals was just mind-blowing. And Thunder is a solo track by Prince, so the band haven't even got started yet. And then when Diamonds and Pearls start, again, I was just transported and amazed. It's funny hearing it now, it doesn't sound out of the ordinary, but during 1991, deep in the heart of the rave and dance music era, this track sounded like it came from another world. The way the beat kept changing. It was so different to anything else I'd heard and that was around at that time. Then Rosie's beautiful vocals reign over you, and it really is something else. Songs like Walk Don't Walk, using a car horn as an instrument, and Live for Love with its made-for-life performance sound of electrifying guitar solos and Michael B's drums just pounding along to Sonny T's bass line, showcasing how tight the MPG were. You know you've got a classic Prince album when you can reel off Thunder, Diamonds and Pearls, Cream, Get Off, Money Don't Matter Tonight, Insatiable, Live for Love, all from the same record. Just astounding. During this period, it was great to see Prince videos on TV and hearing the singles played daily on the radio. It's only years later, when Prince stopped being commercial, that I realised how much we took it for granted. Whole generations of fans have grown up since without experiencing the excitement of what it was like to have a new video and single premiered, or to witness a Prince album having a major release with adverts on TV, posters at bus stops and big stands at the front of the record store with the album on display. Prince himself even used to turn up and do signings of his albums on release. So leading up to the Diamonds and Pearls release, Prince announced a one-off performance at a summer extravaganza in the grounds of Blenheim Palace in England. Unfortunately, the show was cancelled due to problems with the promoters, but Prince made a promise that all ticket holders would be able to obtain seats for his next tour. That next tour would be my first, the Diamonds and Pearls World Tour of 1992. I had a ticket for June the 19th at Earl's Court in London, and what followed was one of the greatest nights of my life. I think that any person's first gig or show is always going to hold a special place in their hearts. Like a first kiss or crush, it's something that you'll never forget and will always carry with you. I remember the day so clearly. I went with my cousin, who was also a big Prince fan and had managed to get us tickets. I was so excited I got myself worked up and was panicking outside about where to queue up, how do we get in, do we have enough time, where do we have to go? Eventually we entered, and inside is basically a huge space for exhibitions and concerts, so you enter into this concrete world, this perimeter around the seating. I remember white concrete pillars with orange and blue stripes on them, and you can see these briefly on the Diamonds and Pearls video collection, and also on the video to the Max from the Love Symbol album. While we were walking around finding our bearings and taking in the atmosphere, there was this continuing loud woman's voice and a kind of clanging bell sound that followed it. Being my first gig at 18 years old, I found it all very otherworldly and a little eerie, to be honest. It was like nothing I'd ever experienced before. It was so loud you could feel it. And you must remember that this was pre-internet years. Back in the early 90s, there was no way to experience something other than by actually going. You couldn't look up footage on YouTube or Google the set list of songs or even look up hundreds of photos online of the gig before going. It was all new on the day. No spoilers. All you had were the odd photos in the paper, which would have been black and white at that time, and a handful of concert reviews in the music press. In some ways it really was better times, being able to experience something fresh without too much prior knowledge of what was going to happen. I think in terms of spectacle and excitement, closest thing to that tour for new generations would have been the landmark 21 Nights in London at the O2 Arena in 2007. So back to the 19th of June, and we are now at the merchandising stands, looking at the tour t-shirts and gifts. One t-shirt reads, Sexy MF. Now remembering what I just said about no internet and having no idea of what's happening, well this was a prime example. Sexy MF? What's that mean? I said to my cousin. He looks at me and I look at him, and we stand for a few seconds mulling it over. Sexy MF, sexy, and bang, eureka. We both realise at the same moment, sexy motherfucker. No way, we both say. We start laughing our heads off. Can't believe what Prince has done. Sega, how could you put that on a t-shirt? And what's that all about? Anyway, I bought 2 t-shirts, but I didn't buy the Sexy MF one, which in hindsight I wish I had. I also bought a tour programme and symbol earring, which I put straight in my ear, and I was ready. We found our seats, and after settling down, I discovered where the woman's voice and clanging bell was coming from. Either side of the stage were giant video screens, and playing was this strange sort of commercial for Prince's next album, along with introducing Maite and Carmen Electra's album. Between each segment was Prince's new cymbal design, which flew up to the screen and made the clanging sound I'd been hearing outside.
Coming this summer from Prince and the NPG. The funky new album entitled
The woman's voice also spoke about Diamond and Pearl, Prince's new dancers. I remember her saying, Diamond has legs. Also there was a dig at Michael Jackson's King of Pop status. The voice spoke, To whom it may concern, it's time you came to your senses. There are no kings on this earth, only princes. The video to Sexy MF was also shown, and the penny about the t-shirts finally dropped. Shortly before the main event, there was a sound check behind the curtain. Suddenly, there was a little high voice that sang a note. All hell broke loose as people started cheering and came running in to find their seats. Then the curtain rustled and the voice gave a familiar "Ow!" Was this Prince toying with the audience and behind the curtain? It sure did sound like him. The show I attended had the distinction of being the last to feature Carmen Electra as a support act. I don't really recall much from her set, but being an 18-year-old hot-blooded young man, I certainly remember what she looked like. The show opened with Prince rising out from the top part of the stage in a clear capsule. White strobe lights gave the effect of lightning as rumbles like thunder were heard, and the music of thunder began. Prince strode out dressed in yellow with the yellow cloud guitar in hand, reached the mic and shouted, "London!" Musically, the tour featured many songs from the Diamonds and Pearls album, mixed in with the hits and a couple of new tracks from the upcoming Love Symbol album. And visually, it was spectacular. The stage was huge, on 2 levels with ramps and walkways. The lighting was stunning, especially the huge cymbal lighting rig. It moved around all the time, only giving way to another hexagon lighting rig that looked similar to the one from Sign of the Times tour, which would tend to replace the cymbal when Prince wasn't on stage, leaving the Game Boys to perform while Prince changed costume. The show has to be one of Prince's most theatrical. With musical segues and Maite belly dancing in between numbers, it felt more like a Broadway show than a gig. Prince and the Game Boys pulled off some crazy, well-rehearsed dance moves, and Prince covered every inch of the stage, running, sliding, spinning, doing the splits, jumping off his piano, and even floating across the stage in a bed in a menage a trois with Diamond and Pearl. The whole experience left me stunned and breathless, and so hungry for more. Another great thing about the show was that most of the songs are played in their entirety, rather than medleys or just a quick verse. With a set list of 22 or more songs, you really got your money's worth for the £22.50 ticket price. All in all, the Diamonds and Pearls tour really was an incredible spectacle of its time, taking in 50 dates across Asia, Europe, and Prince's first shows in Australia. Prince's star and status as one of the world's greatest performers and pop stars was cemented. With chart hits and sold-out tours the norm, the Diamonds and Pearls era saw Prince's profile as high as it had been for many years. But behind the scenes, all was not as it seemed, and who could have predicted what was to come?
Positivity. Yes. Have you had your plus sign today? Pearl wants money. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. If you're so brave, then kiss your enemy. Damon can dance. Carmen is inevitable. Live for love. Without love, you don't live. Maite. The newest member of the NPG. Violet, the organ grinder, says, the new album slams. Diamond has got legs. Prince likes to hug. Michael B. in the house. We told you not to come to the concert. Dance or die. Esther lives. The greatest show on earth. Diamonds and Pearls.